It is Wednesday, April 18th, 2018. It is 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and so you know what time it is. It's time for a little bit of coin metal. And yes, it was a very productive get your ass kicked at Jiu-Jitsu Wednesday. I did in fact get my ass kicked. It wasn't too terrible this time around though. I did manage to slow it down, take it a little bit easier this time, try and be more a part of the moment. And yeah, I had a lot of decent rolls today. As far as what we're going to talk about on the show today, I gotta say, it seems like the vast majority of anything anybody else wants to talk about today seems to be the Verge partnership with MindGeek. And I think it's funny because everybody's affixing on the Pornhub part, but from what I understand, it's actually with MindGeek, which is the underlying parent company. But yeah, as far as how that's actually going to impact things in the longer term, I couldn't tell you. And I don't know that anybody really could. They could try, but whether or not they would be correct is a whole nother story. But yeah, I did post up a recent episode for last Friday, and it's funny, the censors on YouTube have gotten just fucking out of control. You know what I mean? Or I should say they're in control, but they're just way excessive. I got background music playing right now, right? Apparently it picked up 15 seconds of a song that I was talking over the entire time, and they decided that they wanted to try and bump the episode for it. So, I disputed that. Usually something like that, I'm sure they'll listen to it and they'll be like, what song is this? And that'll be that. It's not going to be something where it'll be something easily recognizable or whatever. They'd have to either be into the band to recognize it, or something to that effect. But yeah, so I was kind of disappointed with that. I think that YouTube is going in a really stupid direction with trying to kiss everybody's ass. My feeling on media these days is this: as long as you're not stealing specifically from other people and putting their shit up online for free, and their stuff is I don't know. I mean, as long as you're not actually making money off of it. I don't make money off of this show, so it's I don't care. It's I don't have any ads or anything like that. But, in the future, if I were to have ads on this show, I would want to compensate the musicians that made the works that I played on the station. Now, with regard to that, I'd want it to be the explicit plays, not the ambience music. I mean, that's just part of the show. I mean, but the songs that I play during the music breaks, I would like to be able to compensate them individually, the bands individually, to where all that copyright and fair use bullshit is all resolved. It's look, dude, your song is 4 minutes on my show. Show is 180 minutes. We'll work it out. How many people were listening, or per listen kind of thing, rather than some sort of obligatory amount of change every month. But yeah, and especially if the people actually listen to the songs themselves. So say there's a song that's 30 minutes into the episode, and for whatever reason people just cut off at 15 minutes on that particular episode. No credit for that. But if they listen all the way through your song, hell yeah, I'd want you to get compensated for that shit. fuck yeah. But yeah, I think the market really still has to get its legs under it. I mean, we recently had this this huge number of channel services, like Crackle and Hulu and all these others, and they all have limitations, so that you need to have a membership with 8 of them to be able to watch any movie or show that you would like to at any one time. And I think that's kind of screwy. It'd be better if it was like all on Amazon, and you just like went to Amazon and said, I want this. And as long as it was an agreed upon thing with Amazon, between the content maker and Amazon, that yeah, they should be able to do that. But I feel like the licensing models of old have been kind of carried with us into the 21st century, and to some extent they've served us, but I think in other ways they're kind of a disservice at this point. I have somebody specifically messaging me. Cool. Hi. Anyway, let's go ahead and throw down into some music, as we have not been playing any yet. And as far as what exactly to put in, well, I like worship music, and so we've played Devil You Know, we've played that. Let's go with The Giant here on Coin Metal. And that was The Contortionist with Integration. And it seems like there's been a lot of that good old integration going on as of late. Although I'm looking at the prices for at least the top 5 cryptocurrencies right now, and at least here on CoinDesk's website, and Bitcoin's been just petering around $8,000. It hasn't been doing too much significant up and down motion. I'm sure part of the market is still trying to recover from the whiplash they received the other day when that shot up to like $8,500. But anyway, it does seem like Bitcoin Cash is seeing a bit of additional interest as of late, and I've kind of expected something to that effect to be happening, that as we edge further along, that some people would see the inexpensiveness of the transaction fees on the Bitcoin Cash network as opposed to Bitcoin's network, and saying to themselves, hey, I'd really like to save a lot of coin. I think I'm just going to do it on Bitcoin Cash. And this is competition, kids. This is what it looks like here in crypto. You've probably never been familiar with the idea of competition outside of a first-person shooter, but this is it. This is what it looks like in crypto. You have to not only survive on your own merits, but you've got to be better than other people in your merits, or at least better than other coins. And so anyway, I got this article here on Coindesk.com. Crypto regulation? Not anytime soon, says White House official. Now, you can take that from that what you will, but continuing on. This is by Annalise Milano. So no penis. This is authored on February 16th. Why are we going to read this fucking thing? And my apologies. I thought this is a far more current article. But anyway, I'll go ahead and go through it. A White House official said Friday that legislation around cryptocurrencies is unlikely to materialize anytime soon. Speaking with CNBC at the Munich Security Conference, White House Cybersecurity Coordinator and Special Assistant to the President Rob Royce offered the dour assessment amidst a recent flurry of discussion on cryptocurrency regulation, which is playing out between Senate hearings, enforcement actions, and public op-eds. I think we're still absolutely studying and understanding what the good ideas and bad ideas in that space are. So I don't think it's close, Joyce told the network, echoing previous comments from U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin. Joyce said that his more immediate concern was with criminal usage of Bitcoin. He emphasized that he considered the irreversibility of Bitcoin transactions a characteristic of how the network functions to be troubling. Well, why, dude? It's not like you can take the massage back. Continuing on. We are worried. There are benefits to the Bitcoin concept, digital cash, digital currencies, he said, but at the same time, if you look at the way Bitcoin works, after there is a criminal act that takes place, you can't rewind the clock and take back that currency. That's kind of flawed. Anyway, continuing. We haven't figured that out yet, he added, so it's a problem. Yeah, you know what? It's not for you to figure out. And I'm done with this article. It's very shallow and insubstantial. Anyway, the vast majority of the tabs that I have open today, you know what's concerning? It's concerning Verge and the fact that we had this MindGeek partnership happened recently. I think there's a lot of potential there, really. MindGeek is in charge of far more than just pornography, and I don't know. I guess that's like the most salacious point about it is the pornographic industry. You know what? People have sex. People have had sex for a really long time. Otherwise, we would not be here. So I don't know. I think we're kind of prudish when it comes to that stuff, and because of that, I think it allows for or it creates the background or demand for a lot of what we call perversion or deviant behavior. It's just the unnecessary shroud of mystery that we have surrounding sex in this somewhat enlightened age. And like I said, it's necessary. Either you have sex or you don't have people, you know? I would think we'd be a little more mature about it. Anyway, continuing on, I got this other article, and I'm far more interested in communicating this one at least, because it's more current. It was authored on the 17th. And this is Attorney General Eric T. Schneiderman. AG Schneiderman launches inquiry into cryptocurrency, quote, exchanges. Virtual Markets Integrity Initiative seeks to improve transparency and accountability of major cryptocurrency trading platforms to protect virtual currency investors. Okay. AG's office sends letters to 13 virtual currency trading platforms or exchanges requiring disclosures on their operations, use of bots, conflict of interest, outages, and other key issues. Today, New York Attorney General Eric T. Schneiderman launched the Virtual Markets Integrity Initiative, a fact-finding inquiry into the policies and practices of platforms used by consumers to trade virtual or, quote, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ether. As part of a broader effort to protect cryptocurrency investors and consumers, the Attorney General's office sent letters to 13 major virtual currency trading platforms requesting key information on their operations, trading platforms, internal controls, and safeguards to protect customer assets. As the letters explain, the initiative seeks to increase transparency and accountability as it relates to the platforms retail investors rely on to trade virtual currency and better inform enforcement agencies, investors, and consumers. Quote, while with cryptocurrency on the rise, consumers in New York and across the country have a right to transparency and accountability when they invest their money. Yet too often, consumers don't have the basic facts they need to assess the fairness, integrity, and security of these trading platforms, said Attorney General Schneiderman. Quote, our Virtual Markets Integrity Initiative sets out to change that, promoting the accountability and transparency in the virtual currency marketplace that investors and consumers deserve. Dude, let me tell you something. They either have it or we don't use their service. We get the fuck out of there. Virtual or, quote, cryptocurrency trading platforms match buyers and sellers of virtual currencies, sometimes referred to as exchanges. These platforms are a key point of entry into the virtual currency market for professional and retail investors alike. They serve as repositories for sensitive personal information and custodians of vast sums of virtual and government-issued fiat currency. Ensuring that enforcement agencies, investors, and consumers have the information they need to understand the practices and the risks on these platforms is critical, given reports of theft of vast sums of virtual currency from customer accounts, suddenly and poorly explained trading outages, possible market manipulation, and difficulties when withdrawing funds from accounts. Oh, shit. Caught up with me there. Often the platform lacks the basic market protections of traditional investing platforms. Moreover, the extent of disclosures to customers about trading rules, internal controls, and other basic practices varies from platform to platform, making it difficult or impossible for prospective users to evaluate the actual risks of trading on a particular platform. The initiative stems from the Attorney General's duty to protect consumers and ensure the fairness and integrity of the financial markets. Before trading on a new platform, sophisticated investors routinely demand robust disclosures, allowing them to assess the platform's operations and adequacy of its policies and internal controls. The questionnaire delivered to the virtual currency platforms asks for similar information so that average investors can better understand the risks and protections. The questionnaires ask the platforms to discuss information falling within 6 major topic areas, including 1. Ownership and control, 2. Basic operation and fees, 3. Trading policies and procedures, 4. Outages and other suspensions of trading, 5. Internal controls, and 6. Privacy and money laundering. Among other areas of interest, the questionnaires request that platforms describe their approach to combating suspicious trading and market manipulation, their policies on the operation of bots, their limitations on the use of and access to non-public trading information, and the safeguards they have in place to protect consumer funds from theft, fraud, and other risks. The Attorney General's office will analyze the responses, compare them across platforms, and at the conclusion of this process, present what it has learned to the public. The Investor Protection Bureau of the Office of the Attorney General sent letters to the following virtual currency trading platforms. 1. Coinbase and GDAX. Number 2. Gemini Trust Company. Number 3. Bitflyer USA Inc. Number 4. iFinex Inc. Bitfinex. 5. Bitstamp USA. 6. Payward Inc. Kraken. 7. Bittrex Inc. 8. Circle Internet Financial Limited, Poloniex LLC. 9. Binance Limited. 10. Elite Way Developments, Tidex.com. 11. Gate Technology Incorporated, Gate.io. 12. Itbit Trust Company. And 13. Huobi General Limited, Huobi.pro. The full text of the letters sent to the trading platforms can be found below. The questionnaire is available here. And that's a link, and I don't think we're actually going to click on it, but we may. We may. Actually, you know what? We will. Just to do it. Right-click. We write on behalf of the New York State Office of the Attorney General, OAG, to request the participation of company in OAG's Virtual Markets Integrity Initiative, which seeks to protect the interests of New York residents who trade virtual currencies and related investment products. OAG is asking major virtual currency trading platforms, often referred to as exchanges, to respond to a questionnaire addressing key aspects of their operations, including their fee structure, their internal controls, and the measures they take to safeguard funds in customer accounts. Through this initiative, OAG seeks to increase transparency and accountability in the virtual currency marketplace. Better inform the actions of enforcement agencies, investors, and consumers in this space. As you know, Bitcoin, Ether, and other virtual currencies have captured the imaginations of millions of people worldwide, representing a technological advance, a medium of exchange, and an investment opportunity all at once. Virtual currencies are inspiring innovations, entrepreneurs, and investors, and are fueling an increasingly diverse ecosystem of companies and applications. But virtual currency is also a highly speculative sector, featuring significant volatility, instability, and risk. Moreover, published reports indicate the sector has attracted fraudsters, market manipulators, and thieves. As the state's chief law enforcement agency, OAG is responsible for protecting consumers and investors from these bad actors and ensuring the fairness and integrity of New York's financial markets. As with other emerging sectors, the challenge with virtual currencies is to prevent fraud and other abuses, safeguard market integrity, and protect individual investors, without stifling legitimate market activity or innovation. OAG's Virtual Markets Integrity Initiative seeks to advance these objectives by promoting meaningful transparency, accountability, and the opportunity for government agencies, consumer advocates, and investors to compare the policies, procedures, and protections of virtual currency platforms. Sophisticated investors routinely require privately owned trading venues on which they are considering trading to furnish robust disclosures about their operations, policies, and internal controls so they can evaluate the risks of trading on a given platform. The enclosed questionnaire asks companies to supply similar information for the benefit of not only professional investors and financial firms, but all consumers who may trade virtual currency on platforms so that they better understand their operations and the associated risks. The topics set forth in our questionnaire address fundamental aspects of your operations or issues that have already attracted significant public attention. Indeed, many may be covered in your web disclosures or regulatory filings. They range from your platform's basic trading rules to the policies and safeguards that you have implemented to prevent conflicts of interest, fraud, and illegality. Address the operation of bots and protection of customer assets from theft and other risks. We will review and assess your responses, compare them with those of other platforms, and disclose certain information in a publicly accessible format. As part of this disclosure, we will identify any platforms that decline to provide meaningful, complete responses. We kindly ask that you provide detailed and clear responses for each topic, as well as a contact from whom we can seek supplemental information as necessary. Please complete the enclosed questionnaire and return your responses to our attention no later than May 1st, 2018. In the event that you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Sincerely, Simon G. Brandler, Senior Advisor and Special Counsel, and John D. Gastiglione, Assistant Attorney General, Investor Protection Bureau. So there you have it. The AG weighing in. And I don't know what to say about this, honestly. I mean, it's good that they're supposedly looking out for consumers. However, this has been one of my biggest problems with the way that cryptocurrency exchanges are regulated. One of the goals of cryptocurrencies is to avoid the possibility of a central point of failure in your system. And one of the problems that I have with AML, KYC, all that other bullshit, is that by forcing the exchanges to gather that information, they create in themselves a honeypot that people will want to try and hack and get a hold of the information. And seeing as this is concerning money, that increases the likelihood that they will get hacked or that people will attempt to hack them significantly. So if you're trying to protect the consumers, back the fuck off. Leave us the fuck alone. All an exchange should require from us is a valid email address and a deposit address. That's it. The rest of it just creates liabilities. My banking information, my home address, my phone number, these are all liabilities now in the hands of my exchange. And it's absolutely unnecessary for an exchange to have that information to begin with. Again, they just have to have an address to send my money when I withdraw off the exchange. That's it. The rest of this shit it's just that. It's just shit. It's just bullshit. And worse yet, like I said before, it is a liability. You know, one of these exchanges that they're talking about, say that they gathered the information and then they get hacked. Now they've lost all of their customers' information and you have opened them up to the possibility of litigation and all kinds of other damages, civil and otherwise, that could really fuck them up. I think that again they're trying to take this according to the same tack that they deal with fiat currencies, and aside from things like fractional reserve, or what available reserve they have, I don't really see that there should be a need for any greater regulation than that. If they can prove the solvency of their books, don't even worry about them. But yeah, so I do have this questionnaire, and we're going to go ahead and rattle it off quick before we go into our next music break. But so here this is. It's on the AG of Attorney General of New York's website. State of New York Office of the Attorney General Virtual Markets Integrity Initiative Questionnaire. Number 1, ownership and control. 1. Provide basic information about your company, including the following. A. Full legal name. B. Legal names of all immediate and ultimate corporate parents, subsidiaries, and affiliates. C. All directors and offices, including but not limited to principal officers, their job titles and roles, and, if applicable, their respective percentages of ownership, and D. All beneficial owners of 5% or more of your company and or ultimate corporate parents, including but not limited to all principal stockholders and principal beneficiaries. 2. Bank operation and fees. Or basic operation and fees. My apologies. Number 2. List all domestic and foreign jurisdictions, including U.S. states and territories, from which your platform accepts customers and or allows transactions. If applicable, describe any measures you take to limit trading on your platform from any other jurisdiction. 3. List each fiat currency, virtual currency, token, and financial instrument traded on your platform. 4. List all qualified custodians, banks, or other institutions, if any, holding customer funds. 5. For each type of fee you charge, including but not limited to fees for deposits and withdrawals, mining, conversions, and other transactions, describe A. what the fee covers, B. its calculation method, and C. how it is paid. To the extent your platform reduces or waives the fee for certain trades, or has done so in the past, specify the basis for any such reductions. Ergo, promotions, discounts for high-volume traders / employees, etc. 6. Describe your platform's policies and procedures for margin trading, if applicable. 7. Excluding revenues sought or received as customer fees, i.e. fees responsive to item 6 above, detail the source, the rationale for, and value in US dollars of any other consideration your platform solicited or received in the past 2 years. If this includes consideration for listing a virtual currency, also describe the currencies and timing. 8. Describe your respective processes for transferring virtual currency from a customer account to a private wallet and, if applicable, withdrawing fiat currency from a customer account, including the length of time to complete such a transfer or withdrawal. If processing or execution times vary, provide a range and an average, respectively, for transfers and withdrawals for the past year. Explain the factors that led to those variations. 9. Describe any services, benefits, or features you provide to your customers apart from matching virtual currency trades, including but not limited to data feeds, alternative trading interfaces, and access to other trading data. and to whom such service, benefit, or feature is offered. 10. Specify the notional trading volume in US dollars on your platform from January 1st, 2017 to present by virtual currency by month. 3. Trading policies and procedures. Describe your order types and process for matching bids and offers, including but not limited to how priority of orders is determined, ergo first in, first out, order size, order type, etc. 12. Describe whether and under what circumstances, if any, a customer can arrange or pay for a trade to receive priority over other trades. 13. Describe the method you use to determine the prices for exchanging virtual currency for fiat currency. Explain whether and at what stages of the transaction your platform provides any assurance or locks in an execution price. 14. Identify the average time and range of times to execute a trade. If execution times vary by currency, order type, or trade type, explain and specify an average and a range for each. 15. Detail the policies, procedures, and technological measures you have in place, if any, concerning the use of, quote, bots or other forms of automated trading on your platform. 16. Describe any practices, procedures, safeguards, and monitoring your platform has in place to detect, prevent, block, or penalize suspicious trading activity or market manipulation, the types of customer behavior or trading activity that qualifies for such response, and when such measures came into effect. 4. Outages and other suspensions of trading. 17. Describe all policies or procedures for A. Suspending trading or delaying pending trades. B. Completing, canceling, or postponing order trades during a suspension and or platform outage. And C. For notifying customers of the suspension, outage, or delay, and the rules of contingencies that apply to pending transactions. 18. Describe all policies or procedures you have to allow customers to withdraw or transfer fiat or virtual currency held in their accounts during a suspension or outage. 19. To the extent your platform has in the past suspended trading or experienced an outage, detail A. The dates of each such incident, B. Its cause, C. Its duration, D. The extent to which the incident prevented or delayed customer transfers or withdrawals, and E. What factors delayed customer transfers or withdrawals. 5. 20. Explain all... this is internal controls. Explain all restrictions or other policies or procedures you maintain concerning whether or how your directors, employees, or affiliates may trade virtual currency on your platform or elsewhere, and when those policies came into effect. State whether your company, or to your knowledge any affiliate, trades virtual currency it owns, A. on your platform, B. on other platforms, or C. otherwise. 22. Describe any restrictions or other policies or procedures you maintain to control, limit, or grant access to order flow or other non-public or not yet public information related to transactions on your platform, A. within the company, and or B. to non-employees. If applicable, explain when such policies or procedures came into effect. 23. Identify any person or persons other than your employees with access to your order book or other non-public or not yet public information related to bids, asks, or transactions on your platform and the relationship of each person to your company, its officers, directors, or employees. 24. Describe the scope, frequency, and methodology for any audits or reviews conducted by you or by a third party of your platform's policies, procedures, operations, or finances, including but not limited to virtual currency in your custody. 25. List the third parties, if any, you engage to conduct any audit or review responsive to item 24 above, and the scope of each of such engagement. 6. Privacy and money laundering. 26. Identify all categories of personally identifiable information and proof of identity you require before allowing a customer to trade on your platform. 27. Describe all anti-money laundering protocols you have in place, including but not limited to know your customer policies and procedures. 28. Describe your policies, procedures, or other safeguards, if any, to protect the personal information and or transaction history of customers. 7. Protect against risks to customer funds. 29. Describe the precautions you have in place to safeguard the fiat currency, virtual currency, or financial instruments in your custody. 30. Explain whether you maintain a capital buffer or working capital to respond to volatility outages and other contingencies, the extent of that capital, and how you determine how much of a capital buffer or working capital to maintain. 31. Describe all insurance you carry to protect against any risks to customer funds, what it covers and excludes, and the relevant policy item limits, including, if applicable, FDIC deposit insurance. Number 8. Written materials. 32. Provide a copy of your platform's current terms, conditions, and representations to customers. 33. If applicable, provide a copy of your initial application, including all parts and appendices, and all supplemental submissions to the New York State Department of Financial Services for a charter or a BIT license, and for pre-approval to trade virtual currency. And 34, provide a copy of any written rules or policies you have related to cybersecurity, privacy information security, business continuity, disaster recovery, virtual currency trading, or information used by employees or other persons, or to combat money laundering or fraud. And that is that. The questionnaire that the Attorney General's the New York State Attorney New York Office of the Attorney General sent out to 13 exchanges. Kind of curious to see exactly how they do reply, if at all. Because honestly, I think a little bit of this information is just a little over the top. I mean, again, when you take in this kind of information, you create in yourself a central point of failure or a possible honeypot of information that somebody would want to acquire and not necessarily ask you for, or try and pay you for, or whatever. The point being that you don't have to have this information and to not even to maintain the perception of integrity of these cryptocurrency exchanges. So, like I said, I think this is a little bit overbearing, and it's obvious to me, at least, why the tenor of the NYDFS would drive a lot of crypto projects away from even bothering to try and sign up in New York. It's like, look, man, if your people want to risk getting busted to do business with us, that's your problem. That's their problem. If we do see anybody apply from New York, we're just going to disqualify them. If they lie to us and get in via another means, that's beyond our control, and so on and so forth. All this shit will be forgotten about in a couple of years, and we'll get onto some additional level of normalcy. Anyway, it is with that I'd like to drop back down into some music. And I haven't been playing anything by Sepultura, and I've got this album, and I never know which song to pick on it, because it's a copy of Chaos AD that was international. So all the song titles and everything are in Japanese. And I really hope that I click on The Hunt, but if I don't, we'll live with it, alright? So here it is, if I can find it. The Hunt by Sepultura, here on Coin Metal. And that was Fear Factory with Digimortal. And so, I've got some more articles that I wanted to get into today, and specifically because they pertain to the partnership between MindGeek and Verge Currency that has recently taken place. I guess there's kind of like a three-way thing going on there with like T-Pay and whatnot. Anyway, continuing on, this is on digitaltrends.com, and this is authored, it was posted on April 17th at 1:21 p.m. The author, Kevin Parrish, so yes, penis. Continuing on, want to hide your Pornhub browsing? Use digital currency to make payments. Pornhub visitors wanting to keep their monthly subscription off the credit card bill now have an alternative form of payment: cryptocurrency. More specifically, the biggest porn stash on the internet now accepts Verge currency payments for all goods provided by the site, including the Pornhub Premium subscription service. The move to cryptocurrency is the site's solution for the need to remain innovative while protecting privacy. Quote, "Not only is this an exciting announcement for us and the adult entertainment industry, it's exciting for the crypto space," Pornhub Vice President Corey Price said in a statement. Quote, "History has proven that the adult entertainment industry plays a critical role in adoption for innovative technology. We saw that with VHS, Betamax, credit card payment icons, and most recently, VR goggles. We expect to see widespread adoption of crypto and blockchain in short order." First launched in 2014 as Dogecoin Dark, Verge Currency aims to bring private payments to businesses and individuals. It's an open source platform designed for everyday use and supported by community members versus other cryptocurrencies funded by private companies and initial coin offerings. Verge relies on a Tor-based component that hides your IP address, while a second I2P component sends data through an encrypted tunnel across the network. What is interesting about this specific cryptocurrency is the Wraith protocol, a technology that enables users to switch between public and private ledgers on the Verge blockchain. With this feature turned on, The Blockchain Explorer doesn't see your transaction, thus it's not linked to your public address. But if the feature is switched off, the Blockchain Explorer will see your transactions linked to your public address. Quote, Verge integrates Tor in its core, Electrum, and Android wallets, thereby eliminating any single point at which the communicating peers can be determined through network surveillance that relies upon knowing its source and destination, the Verge currency site states. Along with the main Pornhub site, both browsers, Adult HD Videos, and Nutaku, Adult Gaming, will start accepting Verge currency as well. The news follows the site's move to secure HTTPS connections in March 2017. The site said the switch was due to an ongoing effort to increase confidentiality and privacy for visitors. It is also in response to the repeal of internet privacy rules that previously prevented internet service providers from selling browsing histories. After that, Pornhub optimized its platform for the visually impaired. Wow. Such as providing enlarged text and adding keyboard shortcuts, providing customized color contrasts, text descriptions, and more. The company even launched an interactive sex toy portfolio in January, combining virtual experience with adult-oriented fun. These toys not only link to specific videos on Pornhub, but also synchronizes with each other across the internet. Clearly, Pornhub is trying to stay ahead of the competition. Quote, Here at Pornhub, we have always strongly valued innovation and privacy, Price said. Our acceptance of Verge is an affirmation of our dedication to innovation and privacy. We think Verge, with its focus on anonymity, is the best option, whether for privacy, convenience, or both. And I could not agree more, sir. I could not agree more. But there you have it. There's at least one perspective on this. Although I'm still expecting the articles that, this one didn't solely rely on the sensationalism of the association to Pornhub. But I did like that they talked about the other sites that would also be accepting Verge currency in association with this one. From what I understand, there's actually far more going on at MindGeek than just a bunch of porn. And I haven't had an opportunity to look into them fully myself, but as I was saying, from what I understand, they're far more integrated than just Pornhub. And that being the case, you can expect that if this works out well for them with the current affiliates that will be accepting Verge's currency, imagine how much further that will take us in adoption. And you know what's really funny about this? They were talking about the physical medium transitions that were brought about by porn, but there are actually a great deal others, like streaming. The type of streaming technologies that we have today, you owe that to porn. People wanted their porn faster. And so people started working on different formats and different protocols that would enable streaming. And here we are today. I couldn't tell you the specific ones because I'm not that deep a geek into it, although I'm sure somebody is jumping up and down at their desk right now going, it's blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Anyway, but the point being that porn has driven a great deal of expansion in media. Although we've only recently come into this really, how should I say it, puritanical age with regard to media. I used to go to this club down in California that would, they had, I don't know how they managed to do it. They would burn them into DVDs or something like that. But they had these videos, and they might have been like VHSs or something like that. It was possible back then. But they had these videos that were black and white, and they were like obviously like reel to reel or something to that limited effect. I mean, like really primitive visual medium here. You know, like what's his face, Groucho Marx. You know, back in that era. You know, back before they actually had audio kind of thing, and they were S&M videos. I mean, this is way the fuck back then. I mean, can you imagine the kind of expense that somebody would undergo to film other people screwing or whipping each other or whatever on that kind of medium? I'm sure they understood how valuable it was. I mean, shit, it wasn't every day that you got to watch other people screw. I mean, and more importantly, that you could watch it again and again and again. But the point being that even back then, pornography was driving the medium. And it still does to this day. But, you know, it's one of those top 3 necessities in human life, man. I mean, food, water, sleep, and sex. Procreation. But you got to be responsible about that business. Don't be going in without a gym hat unless you be intending to be creating more people, because like it or not, that's an intended result of sex. And if you don't intend to go through that experience at this time in your life, take some precautions, people. Please be responsible about your sexuality, for Christ's sake. Anyway, I wanted to touch on a couple more of these articles, and this one in particular, because these guys at Forbes, they give Verge quite a bit of love. I don't know how much love by comparison to other currencies. I mean, like, they probably give Ripple a little more love, but I'm just surprised sometimes at how much love they give Verge, because it's, you know, not exactly the biggest coin on the planet, but it is getting there. Anyway, this one's on Forbes.com, and it was authored by Curtis Silver, so yes, penis. Pornhub partners with Verge cryptocurrency, shifting the future of porn payments. Pornhub, the website you always happen to have open when your mom calls, is now accepting cryptocurrency payments in the form of Verge, a cryptocurrency apparently improved upon the original Bitcoin blockchain. Clearly, at some point in this advanced future of decentralized payment systems and easily accessible porn, the two technologies would find a way to intermingle. Cryptocurrency, for all its volatility, is still a space that your blockchain pros are encouraging further investment in. In this case, Pornhub is just accepting the crypto, not broing out with you about it while referring to your dragon pattern vest as tasty. Frankly, when it comes to cryptocurrency, it's hard to tell what is going on. Some still suggest that even with a lag in price, investors still want in on the Bitcoin. Yet others believe we need to shut it all down. I suppose the same could be said for the porn industry as well. Without even needing support links, some want in, and some want to shut it all down. You know who is on each side of that community uploaded wall. What? You know who is on each side of that community uploaded wall, whatever that means. Here's the details of this cryptocurrency and Pornhub mashup. It's really simple and, frankly, about as inevitable as the time Pornhub started a snowplow business. It just makes sense. Beginning today, Pornhub will accept Verge as a payment option for all Pornhub purchases such as Pornhub Premium, HD, and on-demand services and merchandising, but not recurring subscriptions. The reason for that should be obvious, but I'll state it anyway, because of the inherent risk of the volatility of the price of cryptocurrencies. Quote, "The volatility of crypto is concerning for subscriptions with recurring payments," said Corey Price, VP of Pornhub, via email. Quote, "As such, at present, we aren't offering it for recurring payments, though we are in the process of working to do so." Price also noted that, quote, "Our services have fixed prices in fiat, so the value in cryptocurrency will change." Big fucking whoop. This mystery partnership caused the price of Verge to skyrocket this week, and it will surely go up as this news breaks around the internet. You see, if you haven't noticed by now, once the porn industry embraces a technology, that technology tends to begin to thrive. It's too early to tell if this will set Verge up for success previously experienced by Bitcoin and Ethereum, but it will certainly shake up the cryptocurrency world as investors see Verge succeed as the chosen payment option of an industry that tends to set the curve. Pornhub has released this SFW promotional video to show what the future will look like under the Pornhub and Verge cryptocurrency collaboration, and we are not going to play that. Quote, "Here at Pornhub, we have always strongly valued innovation and privacy. Over the past couple years, we've launched virtual reality to provide our users with the most immersive experience possible. A bug bounty program which offers monetary rewards to security researchers for finding bugs on our platform, and HTTPS to provide a more secure user experience. Our acceptance of Verge is an affirmation of our dedication to innovation and privacy, which recently has caused much concern and been at the forefront of all tech consumers' minds," said Price in a press release. Quote, "We're extremely excited to offer our fans the ability to use crypto and think Verge, with its focus on anonymity, is the best option, whether for privacy, convenience, or both." In addition to Pornhub, sister site Brazzers, as well as adult gaming site Natakus.net, will be accepting Verge payments. This move by Pornhub will most likely affect market adoption of not only Verge but cryptocurrencies as a whole, or at least change some perspectives about the use of crypto for payments. If nothing else, it'll make people wonder about the use of Verge specifically. Unlike many of its peers, Verge doesn't use cryptography as much to become an anonymous cryptocurrency. Instead, it uses Tor and I2P network to achieve that sweet anonymity. This slight shift in procedure could influence the next generation of blockchain bros as they develop their mostly useless and repetitive ICOs. As to why partner with Pornhub, Verge had that plan from the beginning, soliciting donations with this end game in mind. Quote, "Pornhub is a global organization with nearly 100 million daily users," said Verge founder Justin Sunrock. Quote, "This partnership represents an enormous market with a global reach that will compete with fiat currencies. It's huge for Verge, and we're extremely excited to finally be able to announce it." Absolutely. Price also later mentioned that other cryptocurrencies would be considered in the future, noting that Verge was highly suggested by users. The security offered by Verge is a good starting point not only for Pornhub, but for the future of cryptocurrency adoption across all industries. I couldn't agree more. It's really a matter of how useful it is to you, and by golly, if you can pay for fucking premium porn service with it, and you are a purveyor of such services, there you go. It's got a use case for you. I mean, I don't know how much easier to make it, or how much clearer to make it there. Now, personally, I have my own kind of endeavors that I would like to undertake that are not similar in that particular nature, but I have certain retail ideas that I think, when it comes to what cryptocurrencies are for and whatnot, I think that's what they're for. They're for us to use as money. And so, I want to create websites that utilize cryptocurrencies as money to purchase products and services. And the point made by the CEO or whoever put out that commentary concerning the price of services, they hit on it perfectly with regard to the fiat price for those premium services and your subscription services. So say it's $20 a month, flat rate, $20 a month, right? Who cares if you get more Verge this month than you did last month? I mean, sure, the guy paying you might be a little bit, piffed about that, but it was up to him to sign up for your service. And so I think that's the point there. And you also have to consider the other side of it. So if you sign up with the subscription service, are you going to make your fees for, say, cutting this service, so say somebody really does only get it for a month and just says, you know what, I don't really use this enough, I don't want to spend the $20 in Verge this month to do this, so I'm just going to terminate this service. Now, if you make that nice and easy, like maybe they just close out a token with you or something like that. If you just make it nice and easy, that too will be a merit for your service. That's one of those kind of understated aspects of the service industry, is that if people don't like your service, they got to be able to exit it easily and re-enter potentially just as easy, if not easier. What that does for the user of the service is it gives them a bit more assurance that you're an honest player. If you're doing things like specifically to create capture situations, where, say if they miss a payment for the month, they go in the hole to you, and you try and hit their bank account anyway, and in turn put them in the hole to the bank, and so now they're double fucked. And this is what I would consider capture. A capture situation where you're trying to initiate a capture type situation. See, to me, that's a demerit. If I see a company doing that, I don't sign up for their service. It's like there's a gym, and I won't name them for whatever liable reasons I may incur, whatever. There's a local gym near to me that's a 24-hour gym. They're within 15 miles of me. But you know what? I won't sign up for their service. Because in my opinion, their payment structure is meant to generate capture moments. Where, so what? It's only a $15 payment. If you happen to be in the hole to the bank or whatever at that point, and they try and take that transaction, They're going to put you into additional hurt with the bank. If the bank denies it, you're into additional hurt with them, so on and so forth. You've created a capture situation. Now, see, I've gone to them a couple times and said, look, I just want a year membership. I'm willing to pay for an entire year up front, right now, no questions asked, just bim, bam, boom, done. No, they don't want that. They want my credit card, and they want to charge me $15 a month. See, again, to me, that is specifically trying to force a capture situation. And I won't have it. To me, that's a shady business practice, and I won't do anything to endorse it. So, there you go. Anyway, let's go ahead and throw back down into some music. And we ended out with a little bit of Fear Factory last time around. And I haven't played any Clutch yet, though. And I think that's necessary. Here it is, a Shogun named Marcus, here on Coin Metal. And that was a little Static X for you there. Ostigo Undead. And so, I read that article on Forbes, and when I was scrolling down, I happened to notice there's another one there. And I'm kind of betwixt. Actually, I'd rather do this other one. But let's see how long this one is. This one can be pertinent information, I think. Actually, this is on Forbes. And it was authored April 16th, 2018 at 2:26 p.m. And it was by Joshua Patterson, so yes, penis. How NVIDIA and SAP are partnering to advance GPU-accelerated machine learning. At GTC 2018, NVIDIA and SAP made numerous announcements expanding its GPU computing platform for AI innovations last week at GTC 2018. The long-term goal is to work with SAP to extend GPU-accelerated machine learning to enterprise. Below are some of the key highlights. TensorRT 4 and Kubernetes on GPUs. My apologies, sir, if I'm pronouncing that wrong. NVIDIA announced TensorRT 4 and TensorFlow integration, as well as Kubernetes support on multi-cloud GPU clusters. SAP leverages both products to put its Leonardo machine learning offerings into production. TensorRT is our deep learning inference optimizer. Marcus Noga, head of machine learning at SAP, stated that the software maker is experiencing a 45-time increase in inferencing speed and throughput with it, compared to running on a CPU-based platform, and believes that it can dramatically improve the productivity of SAP's enterprise customers. TensorRT 4, the latest version, now provides capabilities to accelerate speech recognition, neural machine translation, and recommender systems. To facilitate inference deployment with the multi-cloud environment, SAP shared that it's using Kubernetes, and I gotta right-click on that because it's a link, for scheduling deep learning workloads. Quote, SAP Learning Machine Learning has been running Kubernetes with NVIDIA GPUs in SAP's biggest data center since October 2017, said Dr. Sebastian Wizarek, head of Leonardo Machine Learning Foundation. We schedule GPU-accelerated TensorFlow training jobs using Kubernetes on NVIDIA DGX-1 deep learning supercomputers. 2 times memory increases for Tesla V100. NVIDIA also announced that it doubled the memory for Tesla V100 GPUs to 32 gigabytes. Trained on NVIDIA DGX-1, which has 8 V100 GPUs, the SAP Brand Impact application automatically analyzes brand exposure in videos by leveraging advanced computer vision techniques and proprietary algorithms. Given the nature of high-definition video footage and the need for real-time results, the increase in memory helped SAP with higher accuracy. Quote, "We evaluated DGX-1 with the new NVIDIA V100 32GB for our SAP Brand Impact application, which automatically analyzes brand exposure in videos in near real time," said Michael Kemmelmacher, Vice President, SAP Innovation Center, Israel. Quote, "The additional memory improved our ability to handle higher definition images on a larger ResNet -152 model, reducing error rates by 40% on average. This results in accurate, timely, and auditable services at scale." Leonid Bobovich, lead architect and dev manager on the SAP Brand Impact team, continues to train more jobs and plans to share additional improved performance at SAP Sapphire in June. CXO Summit, AI Roadmap and Journey Workshop. Last Wednesday, NVIDIA hosted an exclusive AI for Business CXO Summit, which brought together 60-plus senior executives to discuss cross-industry challenges and insights for building AI enterprises and practices. We were honored to have Jürgen Mueller, Chief Innovation Officer at SAP, as one of the co-hosts. Several key insights were highlighted during the full-day workshop. Number 1, the importance of data quality for accurate model training. Number 2, distributed data systems for security, privacy, and transparency. Number 3, open source model of staff management for employees' trust and productivity. Number 4, formulate problems into components for effective solutions. As SAP and NVIDIA innovate together and bring more GPU-accelerated solutions to market, improving customer and employee productivity and minimizing waste will lay the foundation for building an AI enterprise, making business application intelligent using SAP Leonardo machine learning. At GTC, Frank Wu, head of SAP Machine Learning Business Network, and Nazanin Zaker, SAP lead data scientist, delivered an informative talk on building a machine learning application called Catalog Normalization, which processes catalogs received from suppliers, extracts attributes from free text descriptions, and normalizes attribute names and values. The application is also trained on NVIDIA DGX systems for faster deployment. SAP Leonardo Machine Learning provides capabilities, microservices, applications, and technology that enable the integration and adoption of machine learning in the enterprise. Wu and Zaker leveraged this application to show how deep learning models can be used to solve this problem for enterprises. And there you have it. Now, you might wonder why I bothered to read that. And it should be obvious on number 2 point, distributed data system for security, privacy, and transparency. Gosh, what does that sound a lot like to you folks? Sounds a lot like, to me, a blockchain. So yeah, they're integrating aspects that they've picked up from cryptocurrencies into their enterprise models. And, I think that's as much a testament to their insight as it is to the pervasiveness of cryptocurrencies, as the ideas behind them further saturate the digital media markets and digital and fintech and so on and so forth. I think that it's pretty interesting to see them going about it this way. But I've said before, I really think that cryptocurrencies and the ideas behind them will end up saving us. You can rest assured that a good deal of what they're learning about distributed systems, they're learning from the deployment of their own hardware out into the market. They're looking at the performance of their own cards in real time, and they're saying, they work better under these circumstances here. We can improve our cards next iteration by doing this to them, and that will take care of this problem. But I mean, it's a live test. It's like before they could do that with video games, of course, streaming media by looking at the quality of the content. But I think this is a little more intensive kind of test, because these networks are 24/7. So, I think that gives you a little more responsive kind of results as far as how your drivers are working, how your hardware is working. Like I said, I think that cryptocurrencies are going to end up saving us by showing us how to push the envelope properly. If you put out a batch of video cards that you've made an iteration upgrade or change to, and half of the lot ends up vaporizing on people's miner farming racks, that's probably not the best way to go. And of course, you probably have to compensate them for that level of meltdown. But just the same, again, it gives us ideas of where we can push the envelope on these things in a lot faster and a lot more responsive way than we've ever had before. And so it's only natural that they would be able to find derivative products or alternative ways to leverage these technologies. And so that's why I say that cryptocurrencies are going to end up saving us all, because NVIDIA is going to continue to push the edge of the performance on their video cards, not only for mining, but also for these other types of partnerships that are being spawned from their endeavors trying to satisfy the mining sector as far as their demand goes and whatnot. So, I think it's pretty valuable. Anyway, I got this other article, and I really wanted to get into this one because it sounds kind of funny to me. And I did a cursory view of it, and one of the themes of concern that I have with regard to mining is raised by this guy, and so I'm kind of interested on that note alone. This one's on Forbes.com, and it was authored March 10th, 2018 at 12:56 p.m. No indication of time zone. Anyway, continuing on. We need to shut down Bitcoin and all other cryptocurrency. We need to shut Bitcoin and all other cryptocurrencies down. Here's why. And this is by Jason Bloomberg. Last week I wrote an article on illicit crypto mining, how hackers are sneaking cryptocurrency transaction processing software onto corporate networks, personal computers, and other devices. I attempted to raise the alarm, calling this threat the most dangerous of 2018. I didn't go far enough. Upon deeper reflection, the implications of illicit crypto mining are profoundly frightening. Because of this type of cyber attack is relatively benign, for certain definitions of relatively, it's positioned to run amok, taking over computers, networks, data centers, and cloud environments around the world. I've been predicting this since about 2015. Perhaps there's a way to stop this insidious infection from killing its host, which is nothing less than global computing infrastructure. To be sure, cybersecurity vendors are already on the job. In my opinion, however, prevention and mitigation technologies will never work well enough. There's only one way to slay the beast. We must make all cryptocurrency as we know it today illegal. Here's why. Permissionless versus permissioned blockchain. At the heart of Bitcoin and by extension most if not all altcoins, cryptocurrencies other than Bitcoin, is the notion of a permissionless blockchain. With a permissionless, generally known as public or open with few exceptions, blockchain, anyone can create an address and interact with the network, purchasing coin, selling coin, or mining coin. The public approach draws a stark contrast with permissioned blockchain, generally private or closed, again with few exceptions. The permissioned blockchain is a closed and monitored ecosystem where the access of each participant is well defined and differentiated based on role, explains Devin Alibi, COO of Design Farm Collective. Quote, "They are built for purpose, establishing rules for transaction that align with the needs of an organization or a consortium of organizations." I focused on permissioned blockchains in my recent article, Don't Let Blockchain Cost Savings Hype Fool You, where I discussed IBM's efforts with the open source Hyperledger project. If you've read about promising proofs of concept with global logistics and supply chain enterprises, you're familiar with permissioned blockchains. Permissioned blockchains aren't the subject of this article, however. They may struggle with scalability and, in the end, cost too much. But they don't have the fundamental flaw that the permissionless blockchains that underlie cryptocurrencies do. The problem with permissionless public blockchains is that anybody can sign up to be as a miner, which means that there's nothing stopping criminals from doing so. Yeah, what's your fucking point? Not all mining enterprises are criminal, of course. There are plenty of people building mining businesses that are perfectly on the level. But that being said, there are many different criminal pursuits that can leverage mining. Tax evasion, money laundering, funding terrorism, or other illegal activity not directly related to cryptocurrency, but the most nefarious of all criminal motivations, illicit crypto mining. Why illicit crypto mining is so devious. Infiltrating our computers and networks is dead simple. All it takes is one phishing victim, one visit to a malicious website, or one person downloading a fake app from an app store, and bam, the hacker is inside. Infiltration is a familiar first step to most corporate cyber attacks, which follow the cyber kill chain: infiltrate, install malware, move laterally to a valuable target, establish a command and control link back to the hacker, and then exfiltrate the data or funds that are the target of the attack. Hackers follow this pattern when their goal is to steal something. In other words, exfiltrate data. As a result, cybersecurity vendors have been focusing on detecting and disrupting the steps of the kill chain. Crypto mining, in contrast, breaks this mold. The The software technically isn't malware. After all, plenty of people mine cryptocurrencies on purpose. There is no need to find a valuable target, since any computer with processor cycles to spare will do, and there's nothing to exfiltrate. As long as the compromised computer can reach the internet, the threat actors can cash in on their mining activity. The most devious aspect of illicit crypto mining, however, is the fact that it can run undetected indefinitely. After all, nothing's being stolen except excess processor cycles and a bit of electricity. In this world of far scarier threats, illicit crypto mining will always rank rather low on the list of priorities, until, of course, it brings your entire network to its knees, which is entirely possible. Cryptocurrency ethics and know your miner. Nah, fuck you. Go suck a dick. To combat money laundering, regulatory agencies around the globe required companies to know your customer. In theory, if all participants in a transaction have sufficient details about the parties they're doing business with, then it will be far more difficult for criminals to launder their ill-gotten gains. Because anyone can become a cryptocurrency miner, it would be only logical for these same regulatory bodies to institute a Know Your Miner policy. That's not true at all. Fuck you. After all, if you want to conduct any kind of transaction with Bitcoin or any altcoin, you like to know that the miner processing your transactions isn't a criminal enterprise who might use its share of the transaction fee to support terrorists or child pornographers, right? You know what? I don't care, because the cost of prohibiting them from doing so would be far in excess of the benefit that you would yield. And besides that, the same kind of protocols that you would use to inhibit their activity on the network would also invariably affect other people who you were not trying to affect. And more importantly, if they do get into mining, invariably they find out that mining is more profitable than their terrorism or child pornography efforts. Invariably. Continuing on. In addition to the regulatory burden of instituting global Know Your Miner policies, therefore, there is also an ethical burden that all participants in the cryptocurrency economy must adhere to, else they risk condoning illegal activity regardless of whether they are criminals themselves. So far, so good, except for one problem. Know Your Miner cannot work for a permissionless blockchain. When you execute a Bitcoin transaction, say, who is actually processing the transaction? It's not the merchant, it's not the exchange, it's not even the miner who is rewarded for such processing. It's every miner on the blockchain. True, for any transaction only one miner gets rewarded, but every miner executes the transaction on its copy of the blockchain, and therefore this distributed redundant transaction processing is at the heart of how blockchains work. So, even if one of the miners is a criminal, you are supporting a criminal enterprise with every cryptocurrency transaction you conduct, and believe me, the number of criminal miners is far, far more than one, and growing every day. How to fix the problem? Corporations will certainly try to prevent illicit crypto mining, but such efforts are doomed to be a losing battle. First, because it's dead simple to mount such attacks, and second, fighting such threats will remain a low priority for the foreseeable future. This leaves Know Your Miner, which can only work on permissioned blockchains. Perhaps a cryptocurrency-based approach like Ripple, that some people consider semi-permissioned, can solve this problem. Actually, you know what? If Ripple were to be regulated under all the categories that it fits under, it would cease to be. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Ripple's XRP altcoin and other permissioned or semi-permissioned cryptocurrencies are an area of active innovation and controversy, which I'm sure to cover in a future article. However, as long as permissionless-based coins have value, illicit miners will favor those over Ripple and its brethren anyway. The cryptocurrency world, therefore, will have two choices: switch entirely from permissionless to permissioned, or perhaps semi-permissioned, or shut down entirely. Of course, many of the aspects of blockchain that excite the cryptocurrency world depend on permissionlessness. Without it, all we have is a secure distributed database technology, which might very well come in handy for real business purposes, but falls short of supporting the excitement around cryptocurrencies today, including the buzz around initial coin offerings. Enjoy the world of permissionless blockchain-based cryptocurrencies while you can, because its days are numbered. And don't lose your shirt when it all comes. Bullshit. You're so full of shit, Jason. You're so full of shit. You know what will happen the day that you decide as a government or other entity to crack down on quote-unquote permissionless blockchains? Do you know what's going to happen? All of the money that's currently circulating around in your permissioned systems will shift over to the permissionless ones. The only money that will be left will be the institutional money, and nobody will give a fuck about that except for the institutions. The money, the action, the commerce will move to permissionless blockchains, and you're going to be left holding your dick. That's the reality of the situation. Whether you realize it or not, Jason, this is like a three-dimensional chess space that we're playing in here. And I've described it multiple times on the show where, you push too hard on one point, the pressure expands and opens up another gap somewhere else. And this is not going to stop. Venezuela already tried to ban mining. They tried discouraging miners. What did they do? The miners switched to a different coin that was harder to monitor the mining of. And where are they now? They're trying to launch a fucking ICO to fund their failing government and their failing economy. So yeah, Jason, you're jerking off into the wind. No, it is not snowing. It is you immaculating onto yourself. Make mining illegal. My God, dude. I don't know what fucking planet you're on. You want to know how to stop illicit crypto mining? It's a really, really, really simple thing. Just more people have to adopt cryptocurrencies. And I'll tell you how that's going to affect illicit crypto mining. More people using cryptocurrencies as a means of transferring monetary value from one person to another will encourage more people to be miners. This will increase the value of mining. This will increase the value of the coins because more miners will be supporting them. And this will again re-incentivize mining. And it will be more profitable to just mine regularly, because whatever little bit of hash power you can generate from your fucking botnet of miners is not going to be enough to make a shit's worth of difference when every other house on the block is mining some sort of cryptocurrency or another. It's just not going to work out the same way that you think there. And the idea of making them illegal, again, Venezuela tried that. It didn't work. Every other place where they've made noises about it, significant amount of the population turns their middle finger up and says "fuck you," and the administrators go back and rethink their policy. So again, Jason, it's not going to happen. You want to end illicit mining? Start mining yourself. That'll make the coins you're mining more valuable, and again, whatever mining power you could generate from illicit crypto mining in the background of people's computers, cryptojacking people, it won't be significant enough to even bother with the endeavor. There'll be other far more juicy points for you to be trying to hit. If you're a hacker or somebody who wants to steal coins, you'd be trying to hit exchanges. You'd be trying to circumvent the wallets or something like that. But the target wouldn't be trying to get your computer to mine. And part of this falls on the people that make browsers. You need to be making it to where those injection attacks just can't happen on the browser. I know that's probably some sort of impossible task, but that's the kind of thing that would need to happen in order to proactively end it without, in fact, the market economics sorting it out for you. Anyway, it is with that I want to go ahead and close out this episode. We will be back again on Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And so until then, I want y'all to trade safe. Do your homework. And watch out for your own bunghole, because nobody else is going to do it for you. And it is with that, I want to go ahead and throw down one last dance. And I hadn't picked one out, but it's got to be Pantera, because we have not played any Pantera tonight. Here it is, Walk, Last Dance, here on Coin Metal. Thank you very much for listening. Like and subscribe on Twitter and YouTube. And I'll talk to y'all on Friday. Y'all have an excellent evening.